Hello there. I'm so sorry. I'm Ashley DeWeese. I'm so sorry that I'm about 6 minutes late. It has been quite the afternoon here in my household. I have a 6-year-old and a soon-to-be 5-year-old, and the soon-to-be 5-year-old just was not in good spirits today, so it's been stressful. I'm sure some of you on this team can relate, but I will wait just a few minutes as people hop on. But again, I'm Ashley DeWeese. I am so excited to be able to have the opportunity to speak with you guys today, and I am thankful that Mindy asked for me to come in here and talk with you, and I want to just share some of my best practices or thoughts on what it takes to be successful in this business. And you know, the cool thing is, hi guys, thanks for hopping on. I so appreciate it. And I will just tell you that it kind of lags sometimes. So if you type questions as I'm live here, and I don't see them or answer them while I'm doing the video, I'll pop on, of course, and answer your questions after the video is over. And of course, those of you that are watching on the replay, I'll do the same. Let me make sure I get in here with you guys. All right. So, I am Ashley DeWeese. Again, I'm so thankful for the opportunity to speak to you guys today. I am from Manhattan, Kansas, the Little Apple. Most people have no idea where Manhattan, Kansas is, but as soon as we say, you know, like Wizard of Oz, Toto, that kind of thing, then people are like, oh yeah. We're basically in the center of the United States. We are a small college town. Kansas State University, the K-State Wildcats, this is what we're home to, which you may or may not know either, but I am a former high school teacher. I taught high school for 14 years before choosing to change careers. And at the time when I was making the decision, I didn't really know what I was going to do. And so Beachbody came into my life at a time that ultimately worked out very well for me. So I'm going to share just a little bit of my background with you. I know Mindy so graciously posted my bio in here for you guys, but a little bit of my background and how I came to Beachbody and coaching, and then I'm going to get right to it and give you my top 5 tips on how to be successful in this business. So I've struggled with weight all of my life. It's always been, I've always been the bigger girl, you know, in elementary school and junior high, that sort of thing. It was just a constant struggle for me, and so I feel like I've been on a weight loss journey forever. I always share that the very first diet that I remember going on with my mom was when I was like in 7th grade, and we did one of those stupid soup diets, you know, where it's like vegetable soup almost, and you eat the soup you're supposed to eat it for like 2 weeks straight, and of course you're like, oh, I can do that, it's just soup. And I think by we maybe lasted like 3 days, and I'm like, I am not about this. But that's a strong memory, because I know that even from those early stages of life, I was trying to find a way to feel better about myself, to fit in, to be accepted. And that was something that was just a constant struggle for me for a long, long time. And so over the years, I have tried lots of different things to lose weight and to get my body to look the way that I wanted to. And, you know, anything from that, yeah, Mindy knows what I'm talking about, her parents tried it. You know, anything from that stupid cabbage soup diet when I was in the 7th grade to trying to just, oh, I'm just, you know, only going to eat like 1 meal a day. And that didn't last very long because I love food. And so stupid things like that. I've tried to do, you know, different companies, products, and things that are out there. And usually what I would find is that I could get some quick results. You know, I could lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds, and I could get those quick results, but I didn't enjoy the process. And on top of that, the things that I tried, I was always trying to do by myself. Like, there was no support, there was nothing there, there was no one there to help me. It was like, here's this product, here's these things, and I would buy them, and then I would try to figure them out on my own. I would implement them on my own. I wouldn't love the process, and I would, yeah, maybe get some results, but then I didn't want to keep doing it because it wasn't an enjoyable process. And again, I didn't have anyone guiding me either. So it was a constant struggle. About 10 years ago now, I was at the height of my weight. I weighed 216 pounds. I was a size 20. And to make a very long story short, I woke up one day and it was like, oh my word, like you've got to do something about this. So my initial transformation of about a 65-pound loss was not with Beachbody. And again, this is about 10 years ago. I worked with a nutrition company in the town that I was living in. Their system was all, clean eating, natural supplements, and what have you. But the clean eating part, their program, it was very, very, very restrictive. And like I said, it was a natural way to lose the weight, but it was definitely not a way of eating that I could keep up for the rest of my life. There were lots of tears shed during the several months it took for me to lose that initial 65 pounds, but I did. After that, it was a constant yo-yoing, up 10 pounds, down 10 pounds, up 5 pounds, down 5 pounds, of just going back and forth, right? And not really knowing what to do. I had a lot of I had a divorce in the process. I had my dad's death in the process. So lots of things to try to overcome for someone who had just recently lost a bunch of weight and then was trying to, move forward and maintain that. I also always try to tell people as part of my story that, one would think that when you reach a weight loss goal, especially one of that significance, that everything would be wonderful and you would be happy with the way you look. And what I came to find is that even after I dropped the weight, I still was not happy for a couple of reasons. One, I was not happy because throughout that entire time and all of the things that were going on in my life, there was nothing that I was doing that was working on my mindset. There was nothing that was helping me actually understand why I had the relationship that I had with food. And so, like I said, it was a constant process. At that point then, we tried to eat clean. We tried to find our own healthy recipes. I tried to do running for a while. And again, all of it, very short-term results, but my body was not changing. It was not tightening. It was not developing the physique that I desired to have. And so I was constantly looking for something. And at one point, as I was getting ready to get remarried, my husband and I were like, oh, we want to drop some weight for the wedding, and we did, but again, we couldn't really keep it off. But I said, we're missing something. We're missing something with the nutrition component because we're really winging it on the nutrition side of things, and I'm tired of just spinning our wheels. So I went on the search for something that would give us a simple plan that was sustainable that we could follow. I came across at that time, and this was in February of 2015, I came across a YouTube video for the 21 Day Fix Extreme. It was just getting ready to come out, and I watched this YouTube video where these two coaches, it was a husband and wife team, they were talking about the container system and how it broke down, and that it was just, follow this plan and these results will come, and it works in the workouts and all that good stuff. So to make a very, very long story short, I went to my husband and said, I think I found the missing link, can I? And I kept trying to explain, and he said, you know what, just order it. If you think it'll work, order it. So we did 2 rounds of the 21 Day Fix Extreme. We had great results with that, and we were like, this is it. Now, along about this time, so again, this is February in 2015, so 2 rounds, 44 days or 42 days, and around this time, I had gotten to the point where I was going to make the decision that I was going to seek something else to do for a living. I was burnt out on teaching high school after 14 years, and I needed something else. And so I resigned that April. So essentially, once we finished round 2, I resigned. Now, mind you, when I ordered the 21 Day Fix Extreme, I just ordered the program. I didn't have a coach. I knew of coaches in my area, but neither one of them were, they weren't really working the programs. They didn't really look the way that I wanted to. So I just kind of did my own thing, and I ordered it on my own through Beachbody.com. And then as, this time in my life happened where we were doing this program, I was resigning from teaching. I had started a blog at the time, and I had been sharing my health journey for a year at that point. And as I shared my journey with the 21 Day Fix Extreme, just because that's what I did, people started asking me about it. You guys know the drill. People started asking me about it, and a couple of people ordered the program. And so at the time that I knew I was leaving teaching, my husband said, well, did you say a couple of your friends had ordered the program? And I said, well, yeah. And he said, well, did you get paid for that? And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, well, they ordered the program because they saw what you did and the results that you got. Like, did you get paid for that? And I'm like, well, no. And he was like, well, is there a way that you could get paid for that? And so that's where we started to take a look at the coaching opportunity. After we did, I made the decision that I was going to give it a go, see if I could make this work. I was never one to be able to think that I didn't want to sell things to people. You know, we all hear that too. Some of you are probably like that. I didn't want to sell stuff. But I was like, I'll give this a go because it's working for me. I love it. People are following my journey and it's working. And so I went to beachbody.com and I signed up as a coach. Again, I knew other people. And the reason I keep stressing this is because it's going to kind of come back to the tips that I'm sharing with you today. But I knew a couple other people that were coaches, but they were dabbling in the business. They were kind of just selling things to people, and they didn't look like they were getting any sort of results like I was wanting to get. So I was like, why would I go through these people that aren't mimicking the things that I want for myself? I'll just take a chance and sign up through the website. So I did. I got placed on a wonderful team, and here I am today. I am now the founder of my own team, the FTFP crew. FTFP stands for Follow the Fucking Plan. Pardon my language. I don't know what kind of group of coaches we have, or you can use any other adjective. But the reason it's called that is because that's really how I function with my fitness and nutrition. That's how I work with my challengers and coaches. That's how my husband and I have gotten the success that we have in our physical and mental journey and in our business. Because if you just FTFP, that's like, okay, good to know. I feel like I'm with family now. FTFP, that's our short version for it. That's what all our challengers know. Did you FTFP your nutrition today? That's what we say. But you know, when you follow the fucking plan, you get to where you want to be. Now, you know, sometimes you have to tweak the plan a little and maybe try to come up with some new additions to the plan. Absolutely. But in general, when we FTFP things in our life, they tend to turn out like we want them to. And so that's kind of my backstory. So here I am. I'm 2.5 years into coaching. I'm a 2-star diamond coach. I'm currently making the run for first time at Elite. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're going to see what we can pull off here in the last couple of months. But I want to share with you my top 5 tips today of what it takes to be successful in this business. And again, this is, there's my child back there, the little ornery one from today. Okay. These are my top 5 tips. There's so many different ways to be successful in this business, and that's what I love, is that everyone's willing to share what works for them, and then we kind of get to see from all of these things that are out there, like what works for us, and then make it our own, okay? So, top 5 tips from me. Number 1, confidence and belief. Confidence and belief. Confidence and belief in yourself. Confidence and belief in our programs and products. So how do you develop confidence and belief? How do you develop the level of confidence and belief that you need to be successful in this business? I'm a pretty straightforward, straight shooter kind of person. But that has taken me a long time to be able to exude on the outside. And definitely being a part of Team Beachbody has helped me to do that. But I want to share with you 3 suggestions on how you can increase your confidence and belief in yourself and in this business so that it carries over into the day-to-day activities you're doing in order for you to be successful. So 1, be a product of the product. Now you're going to hear some of the vital behaviors and the things that I'm sharing with you today because it's absolutely true that those lead us to success. But be a product of the product. And why? Why for 2 reasons. Number 1, I walk the walk. Again, going back to that FTFP, I'm about getting people results. That's what brought me into this business, is that I had a program and products that was a full, complete plan that I followed, and when I did, it worked and got me what I wanted. And so that's now how I live my life. If you remember when I said I knew a couple of other coaches that I chose not to sign up with, it was because they weren't being a product of the product. And so as we look at trying to help other people, if you take who I was before I became a coach, I was looking for someone who already exhibited the characteristics, both as a, in their health journey, or in their coaching business. I was already looking for someone that exhibited what I wanted to become, right? And so that number one, this is a fitness business. And so if I'm not modeling what the products and programs do for us, then how would anyone else, or why would anyone else want me to be their coach? Now, don't mishear me there, because I'm not saying that we have to be perfect. I don't think that you have to be this walking fitness, amazing goddess of a body. Like, Lord knows that is not that is not what I look like. But people can see me every single day on social media. They see me every single day being a product of the product, and in what I eat, and in the fact that I'm being physically active and doing the workout programs. And so that builds my confidence, because I'm sharing the programs and products with people. And so no one can ever say, well, you're trying to just sell me something. That's not even what you do. No, this is how I live. And so clearly that shows people it's important to me and that I believe in it, because they see me walking the walk every single day. Number two, personal development. Personal development is not something that this girl was all about before she became a coach. And it took me a while, as I first started out as a coach, to even really get into it, because I thought that like self-help stuff was corny. I didn't understand like how just reading words on a page that talked about how you should think about yourself or what kinds of things you should apply in your life. I didn't think that that was something that, not necessarily that I needed, I just didn't know how that would actually help fix me or make me better. But oh my word, it has. I am a personal development junkie now. But putting things into your mind that are helping to build you up, that are helping you to become more confident in who you are as a person. Because what has been a game changer for me is when I go into my messages, when I go in to start talking to people about what their struggles are and what solutions I have and how I can help them and what I believe they need based upon what they've shared with me, I'm confident in doing that because I have the belief in the products. I have the belief that they work because I'm a product of a product. That mindset is there. And so it was a really big shift for me when I started going into these conversations believing that people needed what I had, and that I was there to share about what I was doing and what I knew and believed would work for them, and then it was up to them to say yes or no to me. But you know, in my years as a high school teacher, teenagers can sniff out whether you feel strongly about what it is you're talking to them about or not. So any day when I went into my classroom to deliver a lesson, if it was a day where I was like kick-ass confident in my content and what we were doing that day, those days rocked, and those kids were on board with me and they were pumped and they were excited, and it was wonderful. The days that I wasn't so prepared, or when I was talking about topics that I was weak in, they could sniff it out like no one's business. Our customers are no different. Our customers are looking for people to lead them. They're not looking for someone who's wishy-washy. They're not looking for someone who's kind of like, yeah, I mean, you could do this or you could do this. I mean, you don't have to do it this way. I mean, because they're just like, they're not looking for people who are on the fence. They're coming to you, most of them, because they're lost. Most of them are lost in some way, shape, or form, whether it's with their fitness and nutrition, or, you know, fitness, whether it's just their nutrition, whether it's they're lost because they don't have a community to belong to. They need to be led, and you are the person that they're coming to for some reason or another to lead them. And so if you are giving them any sort of feelings of you're hesitant about what you're offering, or your belief in what it is you're offering them is not 100% and beyond, they will be able to tell that. And then it's going to impact how many closes you're actually able to make. So personal development continues to help you with that as well, along with being a product of the product. And then practice. I mean, with anything, practicing exuding that confidence, practicing those messaging techniques, like over and over and over and over again, is going to continue to build your confidence. But if you shy away from ever taking the leap to basically tell someone like, here's the deal. If this is the struggle you have, here's what's going to help you with that. I know that because it's done it for me, or it's done it for the hundreds of people I've worked with. This is how I can help you. And if you put the ball in their court, they can make the decision one way or another. So that's number one. I'll move on to tip number two, but I got to run real quick and help my son. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. Just give me like 30 seconds. Where's he at? That's Ryan. Where is Dad's at?
Where's that?
Okay, and this is real life. All right, so tip number two, be you. This is something that in the early stages of my business, I'll be very honest with you, I wasn't entirely being me, and here's why. I knew this was a business. I knew this was a business, and I was concerned that if I was too me, if I always said the things that I really thought, that I would push people away, that there would be people who wouldn't want to work with me. And in my mind, I initially thought, well, I don't want to do that because this is a business and I want to help people and I have to have people to help, so I don't want anyone running away. And so I kind of censored myself. I wasn't always as straightforward. I wasn't as direct and to the point when I first started out in this business. Now, I will say that it didn't necessarily hinder my business early on, although I do believe if I had stayed on that path, it would have. But where I did see it affecting me in a negative way was in my excitement for the business. Because it came to a point where I would tell my husband, you know, I just really want to say this, but I'm not saying it out of this fear. And I felt miserable because I felt like I was almost kind of beginning to put on a show for people, and I wasn't really being true to who I was and my beliefs. And so at some point he said, well, you have to decide, you know, are you willing to sacrifice some people, knowing that some people, you know, you're not going to be their cup of tea, but knowing that you're being true to you and who you are. And I made that decision to go that direction because, as they say, right, if we're trying to help everyone, we're helping no one. If we're trying to talk to everyone, we're talking to no one. There are certain people out there who need me. You know, there's people that in those early stages, when I was trying to talk to everyone, came into my groups, and I was miserable working with them because they couldn't take my tough love. They couldn't follow the effing plan because they wanted to like have way more flexibility. And I'm not that coach. I'm not that coach. And so again, when I made that shift and made the decision that I was going to be me, and that was going to attract people, again, it increased my confidence, and it also brought more people to me that were like me. I'm very raw, and I'm very real, because I believe that's what people want. They want raw, they want real, they don't want fake. There's enough fake in our world today. We don't need to be putting that out there as well. And I believe that's what, you know, again, another thing that helps to set us apart in the business that we run. So be who you are. There are people out there who need people like you. And perhaps the people that need you are not the people that need me. You know, there's a girl in our upline team. She is, and I'm sure maybe there's someone on this team, you know, who, you know, self-love and lovey-dovey, mushy, let's hug all the time. Like, that is the vibe of her team. Now, she's great. I love her. But oh my gosh, I always tell her, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would shoot myself if I were in your challenge groups. Because again, that's not my personality, right? But that's what we have to understand, is our tribe is out there, but we're never going to find them if we censor ourselves in our posts, in our live videos, in the way we function in challenge groups, those kinds of things. I really believe that the people, most people that enroll with us, they are either people who are already like us, or they're people who want to become like us. Right? And so those are the two kinds of people that we're working with. So be you, raw and real. Tip number 3, live videos. Live videos with kind of like a but put on it. Live videos, the one thing I was trying to help my own team and talk to them about the importance of live videos, or, you know, what is kind of a game changer in helping you be successful. And as I went back and I kind of reviewed, you know, is there something I did since the very beginning of my coaching business that has maybe helped me to get to the point that I am and to develop relationships with people? And the number one thing that I've done since the very first time I created my blog, and again, this is before Beachbody, I was doing videos. And so this was before, I mean, this was, like I said, 2015 is when I became a coach, but I think maybe I started my blog in 2014. And I was doing videos. And so this was before Facebook Live. So I was doing videos on my phone. I would mount my camera. Hold on just a second. Ayla, can you guys go let the dogs out, please? Thank you. I would mount my camera, you know, above my TV screen, and either before or after every workout, and at the time, you know, I was working out at sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, but at the beginning or end of every workout, I would make a video, and I would give them kind of like a little message of the day, and how I was feeling, and what I wanted to talk to them about, and then I would upload it to my blog, and then ultimately when I started my Facebook page, I uploaded it there. So from the very beginning, I was doing videos, and then of course when live video came along, I started doing those. And here's why I believe I've been as successful as I am, and am able to close as much as I do with people in challenge packs, is because people are hearing me, they're seeing me. So just like you guys are listening to me on live video today, like the people who have been following me since day one, like they've been able to get to know me, because there's a difference between hearing and seeing someone on a video like this versus reading a post that they've written. You don't quite get the emotion. You can't see the facial expressions. You can't see some of, you know, my eye rolls or these looks like this. Yes. You don't see those things. You also can't always get the same grasp of someone's passion or their care or their concern. And so for me, this is a self-assessment, by the way, but for me, I really believe that, you know, I can get away with being straightforward, with saying the tough stuff to people, whether it be in a social media post, on a video, or in a private message to someone that I know or don't know, because they've had the opportunity to see me multiple times a week for a very long time talking to them. And they know where my heart is, and they know how passionate I am, and they're not having to guess, well, what's really behind those words? Is this just something she's written and created, or is that what she's really like? Like, they can get to know me, you know? And so live video, I believe, is so incredibly important, because they can get to know you that way. Like, even if you're not on here talking about health and fitness, and you're talking about, you know, your family or whatever's going on in your day, like, you are giving them a kind of the real as we can get, without someone being in our actual presence. They're getting to know you. And so I can get on a live video these days and say, you know, or a post. I just made a post yesterday because I have all these people who are they reach out to me, and I'm sure you've experienced this, but they reach out to me and they want help. And then when you tell them, you know, here is like the components of what's going to help you in the best possible way. And then they want to say, well, I want to do this part of what you're offering me, but I want to keep doing the same old stuff that I'm doing. And so I made a post the other day, and I was like, you know, people reach out to me for help. They've watched my journey. They reach out to me for help. And when I say, hey, here's the 3 things that you need in order to achieve results in the life that I'm currently living, you know, then you want to say that this way, you want to keep this part of your life, but you know what? If that part of your life was working for you, you wouldn't be reaching out to me. Okay? Now, again, there's a way to say that, there's a way to do that, but I think I can be bold like that because people know, one, that I'm walking the walk, I'm being a product of the product, so how can you argue with someone that is actually doing what they're telling you you should do, and they're getting results, right? And then 2, they know my heart. So, live videos, but I will also say that not everyone is a natural at live videos. I personally believe I'm fairly natural at live videos, and a lot of that has to do with my years teaching in the classroom to high school students. Talking to high school students is one of like the toughest crowds. You want to work on your public speaking, like go stand in front of a bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds. I feel like I'm a natural at it. Not everyone is a natural. And so if you're not a natural, if live video scares the shit out of you, if you feel like you're boring, then I encourage you to practice, Do a real live video, but create, like my husband and I, we work our business together. We have a private Facebook group that only he and I are members of. And so sometimes, like, you know, we'll save posts into that group, or we'll create draft posts into that group so we can share them out later. Record videos in there, like up and up videos for like your groups, not like personal videos, but like go into a group like that you've created with you and like one other person, and use that as your space to practice doing live videos so that you become more comfortable and that you feel better about yourself on camera, because you don't want to do live videos and like hurt yourself either. Because if you're getting on a live video, I mean, I guess you might not hurt yourself. Like if you are like a cat lady and you want to get on and talk about, oh, my little cats, I suppose your tribe is out there, I don't know. But if you need practice, that's what I'm getting at, like practice. But I do think live video and all of the people who are far more like, you know, intelligent and experts at this than I am, you know, they're saying the same thing, that that's where Facebook's moving, live video this, live video that. So you can either keep like whining and complaining that it makes you nervous, that you're scared, that you think you're boring or whatever, or you can get on your horse and start practicing it so that you become more confident, that you feel better, and you can talk about these things. And again, circling back to my previous tips, if you are confident in your physical being and your mental state and you're confident in the things that you're talking about, it's much easier to go on live video and talk about anything and everything because you're confident in those other ways, right, that you've been working on. So that's number 3. Number 4, patience / look for wins. Patience / look for wins. I am not a patient person, and I'm a control freak. Neither one of those qualities make me a very good candidate for this business, because this business takes time, and many of the things in this business are out of our control, and I don't like it, but it is what it is. But patience is what I'm really learning, you know, because I am a self-driven go-getter. If there's a goal out in front of me, then I'm ready to go. Like, I don't have time to mess around. Same thing with my fitness journey. Like, I don't want to, I always tell my people that are coming in with me, like, I don't want to take 10 years to lose 5 pounds. I'm not on that path. Like, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my money. If I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to do it in a healthy way, at a healthy pace, but I don't want to jack around and it take 10 years. Well, that's kind of how I approach my business, right? But this business does take time. And as I tell my team, this business takes time because this business is legitimate. Team Beachbody is a legitimate way to live your life and earn an income at the same time that you are, you know, leaving a legacy in this world and making a positive impact. So we have to have patience, and it will come. A little tip, I guess, that maybe would help for you, and this goes into the look for wins, is where are you being successful? I know for me, one of the biggest sticking points is, you know, I like ranks, I like titles, I like those things. Now, ultimately, I'm in this business because I want financial freedom and freedom of time. That is the #1 goal. But I also like recognition, okay? So I'm trying to do both at the same time. But as we all know, that can be out of our control sometimes. We can only do so much, right? And then some of it does depend on other people. So for me, it can be incredibly frustrating if I feel like I'm doing all that I can and I'm stuck, like at a certain rank or place or what have you. So in those kinds of scenarios, you have to look for other wins. You have to look for other ways that you are being successful. My husband has helped me out a lot in this category. One of the things that he started doing for us, if you don't already, I hope that you do, but he tracks our income every single week, every single month, and then he's a Excel data nerd. And so he now shows me every single Thursday. He will show me what we earned that week, and then he will compare it to what we earned on the same week last year. And he will show me the percentage that it's increased. And he will do the same thing for where we're at for the month and where we're at for the year. So in the moments where I feel like, oh, this has been a shitty month for our team, people aren't heading Success Club, this is just, nobody's doing anything, woe is me. Then a Thursday will come and he will show me those numbers and he'll be like, I know what you're saying, but we've increased this week by 78% from where we were last year. You see what I'm saying? So that's just a financial example of being able to look for other signs that show you that you are making progress and you are being successful in this business, and that we don't tie everything to the rank that we're working towards, or the whatever other recognition we might be working towards, because sometimes we might sit in a spot for a while, but that doesn't mean that we're not growing. And then finally, number 5, this is probably one of the tips for you that it's also a tip for me. It's the hardest, but it's one that I've recently been learning from a mentor, and it's just absolutely true. And that's surrender the outcome. Surrender the outcome. Decide what you want. Decide what you don't want. Feed what you want. Starve what you don't want. And surrender the outcome. Because the only things that we have control over are ourselves. We have control over our mindset, the way we think, the way we look at things. We have control over how we feel. We have control over what we do. I was on a call. Who said it the other day? I was Doug Moss, maybe. I think maybe. Anyways, I think old Doug said, people will say, like, I'm trying to help my team hit Success Club. I'm trying to help my coaches hit Success Club. And he said, I wish people wouldn't say that, because you can't really help. Like, you can't really help your coaches hit Success Club. You can provide resources for them. You can provide tips and insight, but ultimately, like, they are in control of how many people they help each month. And again, it's one of those things where I'm like, ugh, because I want to be driving everybody's car. I want to drive my bus, and I want to drive your bus, and their bus, and their bus, because I know how to get to where they're going, right? I don't want to wait for them to figure out how to get to where they're going. But it is so true, right? And so again, those things that I just shared, I'll repeat them for you because they are so very powerful, and this is an area that I'm working on, but I know it to be true. Decide what you want. Decide what you don't want. Feed the things that you want, and starve the things that you don't want, and then surrender the outcome. Because too often we tie ourselves to the outcome. I tie myself to the outcome. And that sets us up for failure, because when we tie ourselves to the outcome, we aren't always in control of the outcome. And so then when things don't turn out the way we wanted them to, we blame ourselves, we feel bad, we get down, we think things aren't working, when in reality, we didn't even have control over that particular outcome from the get-go. What we had control over are the activities that we did every single day, and that goes back to the vital behaviors and doing them every single day. The things that we do today aren't necessarily going to give us an immediate return. Someone I messaged today for the first time, might that conversation go today, and by the end of the day, they enroll with me with a challenge pack? Potentially, right? But the majority of people I'm talking to, I started talking to them, or I first friended them, a year ago, or I friended them 6 months ago, or 3 months ago, or whatever. And they may not even come around. We may not even get to the conversation stages or whatever to where they actually enroll with me until several months down the road. And so again, I can control my daily activities. I can't control when that person decides it's their time. But if I keep doing those daily activities and adding people to my network and starting new conversations with people and sending private messages to people to start a conversation and following up and following up and following up, if I keep doing those things, and again, number one, if I keep showing up every single day, living this healthy life, people can't argue with that. I had a lady, and then I'll wrap this up for you guys. I had a lady, a girl who's in my group right now, she messaged me right before this group was getting started a few weeks ago, and she was like, okay, so give me the info on this group that you're running. She was like, I try to avoid all of your live videos, but I just keep finding myself drawn to them, and so what's going on here with what you're doing? So it's one of those cases where, people are kind of like, oh, like, there's that girl again, showing up again, like doing her workouts or doing whatever, talking about this, talking about that, but they're still watching. They're still listening, and if we're honest with ourselves, like, I know I've been honest with me, like, I do that too sometimes. I'm like, oh, I hate her. Tired of seeing this, tired of seeing that, But then on the inside, I'm kind of like, it's just because I want to be that I want to be doing that too, right? People who follow us are the same way. So surrender the outcome, control the things that you can control, and you will find yourself in a much happier space. So to review real quickly, my top 5 tips for success in this business. 1, have confidence and belief, and always be working to increase your confidence and belief. Number 2, be you, be raw and real. People want raw and real, they don't want fake. Number 3, that goes with your photos too, by the way. Y'all don't need to have like crazy fancy photos. They need to be good, like well lit, like that kind of stuff. But, you know, be relatable. Like, I don't have a diva light ring and a backdrop and a, just be raw, be you. 3, live videos, let people get to know you, build relationships with you. That too, guys, when it comes into your private messages, sometimes that's why I can go for the direct invite, you know, after one message to a person, because they've already followed me long enough that we already have a relationship, even if I haven't directly spoken to them one-on-one. Number 4, patience / look for wins. And then number 5, surrender the outcome. So I have so enjoyed talking with you guys today. If you have questions for me, certainly just post them in the comment section. I'm sure Mindy will leave me in this team page for a couple of days before she kicks me out so that I can interact with you guys if you have them. But yeah, I wish you nothing but the best of luck and success in your business, and hopefully this won't be the last time that you get to hear from me. See you guys.